Recently, a new Punch-Out game was released for the Wii, another step in Nintendo's quest to whore out as many of their old franchises as possible. Of course, the NES version of Punch-Out is a beloved classic, but would you believe it was a beloved classic that I never touched back in the day? The ultra-historic Super Mario Bros. Trilogy? Oh yeah, I had that. Classic adventure games like Metroid and the 2 Zelda games? Oh, you better believe I played the shit out of that. Other classics like Contra, Mega Man 3, Tecmo Super Bowl, and Kirby's Adventure? Oh yeah, that's the stuff. But Punch-Out was an NES classic that somehow slipped through my fingers back in the day. But thankfully, I finally picked up a copy at a flea market a few weeks back. Oh, and it's one of the versions that has Mike Tyson on the cover too. But since Mike Tyson jokes have been done to death, let's just get on with making up for lost time, shall we? So I'm gonna hit the power and... Yeesh, even back then, it's just an 8-bit caricature. He was creepy looking. Okay, the Punch-Out story is a video game legend everyone knows. You play as Little Mac, this shrimpy, scrappy little doofus, insane enough to dream he can become the heavyweight boxing champion of the world. I mean, look at the size of some of the other boxers in comparison to Little Mac. David and Goliath doesn't even begin to fucking describe it. But I guess that's always been the appeal of Punch-Out. Little Mac is clearly the underdog, and that stirs the inner Rocky within us all. Punch-Out's appeal also stems from how incredibly easy the controls are to pick up. Pressing B or A will make Little Mac throw a left or right body blow respectively, and hitting up while punching will make the little shrimpo jump and throw a jab. To avoid attacks, simply hit left or right to dodge, or press down to block a single punch. Also, if you throw a counter punch at just the right time, a star will appear over the other boxer's head. This gives you a star punch. Unleash it by hitting start. And if you do it at just the right time, you can really fuck up your opponent's day. The select button is used in between rounds. Hold it and your trainer will do whatever he's doing, and when the round starts you'll regain a random amount of stamina. But you can only use it once per fight, and sometimes it'll only restore a sliver, so don't rely on it too much. The last thing you gotta worry about is how many hearts you got left. Block a punch or miss, you lose 1. Get hit outright, you lose 3. Run out, and Little Mac will become exhausted. He'll have to continuously dodge until he recovers and can start slugging away again. The wondrously elegant simplicity of its gameplay is what makes Punch-Out a blast to play, even today. As I said before, I only started playing it weeks ago, but I was immediately able to come out swinging. Though I suspect that's partly because you started out fighting Glass Joe, one of the biggest pap smears in gaming history. I mean, the shitbits practically bends over and takes it. Oh, and look at that, he's French. Is there a hidden joke here? Is it mandatory that you always gotta make fun of the French? Aren't there any French video game characters that aren't pussies? Oh yeah, never mind. And speaking of nutty characters in general, Punch-Out has some of the most disturbing goofballs you'll ever see in a video game. You got the Japanese guy who looks like he has an aneurysm before each round, you got the Spanish guy whose nose looks like a penis, you got the narcissistic fuckface who jiggles his man boobs, and here's the title bout with Bald Bullfuck and wait a minute, where have we seen that face before? Holy ass! It's Wario! Holy shit, man. Mario is the referee's enough of a mindfuck, but looking back and seeing the face of a future Nintendo character, whew, that's something else. But the character many remember most fondly might be King Hippo, all because of the Captain N cartoon. And that begs the question, would we remember him or Eggplant Wizard anywhere near as fondly if we didn't have fond memories of watching their shit getting fucked every week? Anyway, to reach Mike Tyson, the final boss of the original NES version, you're gonna have to rearrange the face of every other boxer in this game. Each fight lasts 3 rounds with 3 minutes of game time each. You win by either KO, TKO, or if you got enough points, some fights can be won by decision. You work your way through the minor, major, and world circuits, and your opponents get faster and tougher. It's a perfect difficulty curve. The key to success is effective dodging and counterattacking, and learning the mannerisms of each boxer. For example, throw a jab at Mr. Sandman, and he'll usually dodge and counterattack. After that, immediately throw a jab, followed by 3 body blows. To be King Hippo, hit him in his open mouth, then deliver body blows to his navel.
Don't worry, your disgustingness. I'll be back with that chick before you give me a 10 count.
You fucking lump, you never get up before the 10 count. Once you clear the first 2 circuits, you get a little cutscene that gives you a password while trying to tap that Rocky vibe. But the latter attempt fails because 1. Your trainer looks like Fat Albert, 2. Mac is in gay-ass pink jogging gear, and 3. This is clearly New York, not Philly. As for graphics and sound, well, being an early NES game, the graphics are very Spartan, but they get the job done. There's plenty of little details everywhere, like spit and sweat flying everywhere when Little Mac lands a punch, or camera flashes from the crowd when you win. As for sound, only 1 track plays during fights, but the music dramatically changes when either you or your opponent get knocked down, and you can hear the roar of the crowd. And speaking of sound effects, don't some of them sound familiar? So from both a gameplay and aesthetic standpoint, Punch-Out fires on all cylinders. You're guaranteed to keep coming back for more, until you finally make it to the so-called dream fight. Alright, here we go. Damn, he's fast then. Wait a minute. Hang on a second. Are those fangs? Mike Tyson is a fucking vampire? Well, that might explain a couple of things. Maybe we should have Simon Belmont in here instead, so... That's right. For the first 90 seconds, Tyson throws uppercuts that'll deck you instantly. And the fight doesn't get all that easier after that. Trust me when I say that Mike Tyson will put all your skills with this game to the ultimate test. It took a long time before I was able to knock him down at all. Even longer before I could knock him down in the first round. And even longer before I went the distance with him. And if you land a star punch, it's like you've been blessed by the 3 goddesses of Hyrule. Luckily, there's a password that takes you right to Tyson, and believe you me, it comes in handy. Even winning by decision feels like an incredible achievement, and to be perfectly honest, that's the best I've done so far. In the early days of the NES, Nintendo published a lot of sports sims that were simple, fun, and easy to pick up. But Punch-Out is widely considered to be the best of them all, and with good reason. The mere fact that I first picked it up over 2 decades after its creation, and was still enthralled, should give you a hint as to its lasting power. Final verdict? 8 out of 10. In closing, it comes as no surprise there was a 3D remake for the Wii. Sure, there's no Mike Tyson, but at least you get to see him in that new movie Hangover.